apologize for my delay. I've been trying to turn on my computer for the last 32 minutes. I almost took a picture to show you because I had my phone on speaker with Dave trying to coach Nick to fix the computer and everything apart, like the microphone apart, the lights apart on the floor, like everything. And I was like, I hope they know this is real. Like I'm sitting here and I'm trying not to get frustrated. I had just helped Nick with a class assignment, and then I had to go and get him out of class to come and fix my technology. And he's like, Mom, I'm missing class. This is a shit show. So anyway, I apologize. I mean, there's nothing I could have done, but... So here's the deal. So at least I have 20-ish minutes with you. It's not even Mercury retrograde. I'm going to get a new computer in here. I will say that. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I need a new computer, I think. Anyway, so tomorrow you have readings too. You know that, right? Because we have session 3 today, session 4 tomorrow, back to back, because of just the way the month worked out. So tomorrow I'm going to go over with you. I'm going to do like a full hour and a half of readings tomorrow. So anybody who doesn't get a reading today, you might get a reading tomorrow. And I took a nice deep breath, so I'm centered enough to read for you. Oh, we'll look back on these days one day and say, remember when you were like trying to do all this with your kids at home? Saturn square Uranus will do it. Holy shitballs, right? Okay, so yeah, anyway, you've got a whole bunch of me today and tomorrow, so... literally, I was looking in the mirror because I was trying not to bug Nick, so I was in the bathroom right behind that door, and I looked in the mirror and I'm like, inhale, exhale, left. So do what the shirt tells you. Here's what I'm going to tell you. One thing I was going to share with you, and I'm going to share I'm going to share it with you anyway, and it's something good to think about because I was telling Alexis this. I sometimes read for you even when I'm not reading for you. I have this capacity sometimes when I sense that you guys are having difficulty. What I like to do, because I don't feel like it interrupts your free will, is, especially if you're posting in the group and asking for help, is to ask your spirit guides to come closer to you. Because sometimes I feel like it's not even wisdom from me that you need, it's wisdom from them. And I try to be a good channel for that. But Alexis was saying, it might be good for you to tell them that you do that. Sometimes when you're posting in the group and you're like, see me, help me, or other people are saying, hey, can you help this person? Can you see this person? The first thing I do is close my eyes and ask your spirit guides to come closer to you and to make things clear to you. So even though you may ask for a reading today, or you may need a reading today, and you may think I don't see you, sometimes I see you more than you think I see you. So guess what I'm trying to say. So let me dive right in. I'm going to ask my spirit guides to help me be a good, clear, and open channel. I'm going to go a few minutes over the top of the hour. I'm trying not to do that too much in our classes, but if you want to stay, I'm going to get in the zone and I don't want to end right away, so I'm probably going to go until about 10 after, which will be half an hour of readings today. If you are able to stay, that'd be great. If you can't, I understand. I want my spirit guides to know I'm grateful. And for helping me be a good, clear, and open channel for wisdom and information that wants to come through today. And I ask that wisdom and information only in service of the highest good of the one who asks is allowed to be understood, expressed, and communicated. And I ask that all messages come through in a way that's easy to understand and integrate. And I'm going to give thanks for wisdom and insight that's already on its way. And together we say Amen, Aho. And so it is. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I see you. Sometimes I feel like a parent. I hope that's not dysfunctional. Sometimes I look through the group and I feel like a mom looking out for everybody. All right, Jen Nelson, let's dive right in. Thanks, Christy, for seeing me, by the way. Christy de la Cruz, thank you for seeing me and saying that, because it felt important. Wait, where'd you go, Jen? Okay, Jen Nelson. Jen. Thanks for being here today. In other news, I feel great. I don't know if that matters, but I've got all kinds of energy today, so And the deck I'm pulling from is the Soul Truth deck by Brianne Hovey, which I love. We've read from this deck before, but that's the one that Spirit was like, that's the deck for today. So Jen. Now this is a little bit of a tough love deck, but I like it for that reason. And so it says, on whom am I placing blame right now? A person who places blame on others has not begun their lesson. A person who blames themselves has begun their lesson. A person who blames no one has finished their lesson. This is good medicine for me too. Do you ever feel like you blame other people for things like, well, if she'd done that, if he'd done this, then we could do that or whatever. So it says, take responsibility today. Free yourself by releasing all victimhood, blame, and resistance. They don't belong where you're going, because only love and courage live there. Make a choice to do it even if you don't feel ready, and listen to your heart. You'll be led. Okay. So here's what they're saying for you, Jen Nelson, the guides. You've had experiences that haven't been fair to you, and there are some cases in which you're still upset or concerned about these things, and rightfully so. It is time, though, to look at how you might move forward from a place of blamelessness. And people struggle with blamelessness. I don't know if this is your struggle. I've struggled with it before. Like, wait, so people did stuff and they don't have any responsibility. But it isn't about that, because it isn't our choice who takes responsibility and who doesn't for things. That's a cosmic matter. You know what I mean? So where in your life do you need to release yourself from this dynamic of, you know, she did this, I said that, he did that, I said this, I did this, they did that. There is a little, they're showing me that kind of energy in your life, and we all get into those pockets where it's like, well, because we can point to 100 different things. What I know for sure, and I've always said this too, and it's a high bar, and I recognize it, but I know that people are doing really deep spiritual growth when they don't blame anybody for anything anymore. But I also know that getting to that place is really hard, right? Was it for you too, Samantha? Woo! Happens in our relationships, happens in every part of our lives, and it's just really easy. The natural human thing is to externalize everything away from ourselves and to point to A, B, C, D, him, her, them, you know. That's the natural thing to do, rather than saying, what was my part? Yeah, so I hear that. So Jen said, I don't blame, but I need the truth. And so underneath all of that is the truth. And I think that's kind of the core of it. You know, it may not be about you specifically going and blaming or holding blame or anything in your heart. But so what the spirit guides are asking me to ask you, Jen, is what do you... It's a juicy question. Ready? What do you need to feel like you've got the truth? How will you know? How will you know? It's big. I don't know the answer to that question. That's just a question from them to you. How will you know when you have the truth? It might be a feeling, it might be like a frequency, it might be an immediate feel of relief. I do sense that you'll have relief. Once you feel like you understand the truth, you will feel a sense of relief. But I think it's about understanding what that will look like for you. Settled, right? Okay, so it's a legal matter. Define it for you, because you know what I mean? Because the ultimate goal here is for you to have some peace. Isn't it? I mean, that's what it feels like. I know it's a legal matter, but I feel like energetically the goal is for you to have peace, balance, and alignment. That's what I'm sensing. So forget what the right outcome is. What's the best outcome for you to have peace? I don't know what that is for you, but I wish it for you. I'm holding the space for that to come for you. Because, you know, you deserve it. Right? I mean, that's you should have that. Yeah. Sarah Brenner would love a first reading. How can I recognize? This is a great question, by the way. Sarah, where are you? Come back. Sarah, there you are. Hi, Sarah. How can I recognize messages from my guides during journey tonight? It's a great question, and you know what? Tonight's journey is going to be a powerful one, and I'm excited to do it. It's the first time we've done a journey with a tool in a long time. You need to have, if you have your Athame from your tools this month, you should bring that to your journey. If you don't have it, you should get a wand of some kind. A Vogel would be good. A knife would be best, because what we're going to do is we're going to exfoliate tonight. Tonight I'm separating you from all the stories to get to the core and the essence of who you are. So Sarah, how will she recognize her messages tonight? What's her exfoliation protocol? Right? Let's see what comes up. Interesting answer to your question, Sarah. What expectations do I have that are impossible to meet? It says, you're being summoned to peace. Peace, and it's funny, Jen, because you're still on my mind, Jen Nelson. Like, I could do the whole hour just on Jen Nelson. I could do the whole hour on any of you, but the spirit guides are still talking, like, how peace is your divine birthright. And this process that Jen's been going through has separated her from her peace. That's what the guides are saying. So, and it's interesting that, you know, right after Jen, I go to Sarah, and Sarah's card is all about peace, as a birthright. Peace is home for your soul, and it's accompanied by trust. It comes when you surrender and focus on only what you can control. If you expect nothing and you're grateful for everything, you will experience extreme fulfillment. Good luck with that, though. I'm not very good at that. Expecting nothing. I find that's the hardest part of the human journey, is to literally expect nothing from your partner, from your kids, from your employer, from your, expecting nothing is tough, but it's also the work of the moment. Let go of expectations. That's what the guides are saying. Connecting with your spirit guides, and I don't know if you listened to the coaching audio that I did for you. It's a little broken up because I recorded it in 9 parts because it took a long time and my kids were interrupting me a lot. But there's some good nuggets of wisdom in there if you haven't listened to it yet. And one of the things I talked about in that audio too is communicating with spirit guides. And I don't know what I thought it was going to be like, whether it was like going to be a flash of lightning or like they were going to come sit next to me, or like, I don't know what I thought it was going to be like. But what I've learned is I can't hear them unless I am silent. If I'm distracted, if I'm, and I'm feeling the same thing for you. So let go of expectations, go into the experience with a completely open mind, recognize that wisdom may come to you in forms that are new, because you're opening a different box this year, right? It's like everything about your learning and your wisdom and your growth is new. It's a new year, it's a new class, it's a new intention, it's a new paradigm, it's all of that. So I think it leaves a lot of room for us to have new experiences. Yeah, so Julie, every month I do coaching where you guys can ask questions and I answer them. And I deliver that back to you in the form of an audio. Yeah, it's in your classroom. And this is for the month behind us. This is for January. So if you get a chance to listen to it, I do the best I can. It's like I said, it's very, very long. Some people don't listen to it because it's too long and too much and they don't have time, and I totally get that too. So only if you're curious or you have time or you want to hear me respond to people's questions might be helpful for you. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'm so glad. Going back up. Ashley Rosenwinkle said, I would love to be seen today. It's been a bumpy few weeks. Calcination is no joke. That's right, girl. She said, any guidance from me right now? There's always guidance. Let's see what's coming up, Ashley. It's nice to see you today. Ashley. I'm just seeing it more and more that the questions, like when you guys are back to back with each other, there's an entanglement. What expectations do I have that are impossible to meet? You're being summoned to more peace. Peace is home for your soul, and it's accompanied by trust. It comes when you surrender and focus on what only you can control. It's the same message for you. You know what the spirit guides are saying? It's really interesting. You ready? It's not my favorite thing either. It's not my favorite piece of like spirit wisdom. There's just certain wisdom I really resist because I don't want to hear it. But it's what they're telling me to tell you, so I'll tell you. Prayer is answered in 3 ways. God, this is my grandmother. Yes, no, and not right now. Some of it's not right now. We are on timelines, and the timelines matter. You know, the timelines keep us, the timelines of your spiritual development are aligned to the timelines of your human development. And what I've noticed is the spirit guides don't let us get too far off track. You know what I mean? So what I'm hearing from the spirit guides is not yet, not right now. There's a certain work that you have to do right now, Ashley. And if you don't do this work in this phase, it's like the rest of it, because it builds on that, the rest of it requires this phase of you. So you have to ask yourself, and the spirit guides are telling me to ask you, what is that, what is this thing that you have to do before you can move on from this phase? What are you trying to, let's put it a different way. Gosh, if you could journal about this, I think it'd be really helpful. I almost want to journal about it. It's such a juicy question. What are you resisting right now? Because it's hard, or maybe you don't want to do it, or I don't know, whatever the resistance is. That if you don't do it, the rest of the creation can't unfold. There's some very necessary medicine in this phase. And it's like the rest of it, that's right, Joanne Sesky said, build on a strong foundation. Yeah, Nietzsche said, like setting a foundation. It feels like there's something you have to do right now, Ashley, and if you don't do this, then the remaining steps of this process, and I'm very emotional about it for you, so it feels very important. Woo! I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it feels very big and very important from where I'm sitting today. Rochelle Farver, she says, it's just hard to know when is the time at times. I've gotten not yet for some time now, but wondering when go time is. I know, Rochelle. Rochelle. I know. When was the last time I couldn't stop smiling or laughing? Go back to a moment when you laughed so hard you almost peed your pants. Feel the laughter grow in your body. Your cheeks are hurting, your eyes are watering, maybe there was even a snort. Laughter is healing. It reminds us to take life less seriously and find the joy in the littlest things. Note to self, laugh more often. I'm listening. This isn't just for Rochelle. So Rochelle, pardon me while I share what's coming through for you with everybody else, because I think if you're here right now, this is probably for you. It's a very interesting message. How do you know when you're done with calcination? Aren't you curious? I've never asked the question, but I feel like Rochelle asked the question and we got an answer, which is when you can laugh about it. I can't laugh about it yet, can you? It's okay. I'm doing calcination right alongside you, right? I mean, I'm doing all the work that you're doing. I'm not taking an easy way out. I'm not saying, oh, I've already done this. I'm doing all the work that you're doing. I'm doing the worksheets. I'm doing the meditation. I'm going to be journeying with you tonight. And, you know, it's dug up some stuff for me around a lot of different issues, family stuff. And it feels deep and it feels really, I'm not laughing yet. Is calcination forever? Listen, Jamie, don't start crying because I will cry. I feel emotional already in these readings today. No, calcination is not forever. And healing is never done. But you will move through the calcination phase. And I think when you feel that, the lightness where you can laugh, and I don't mean laugh like laugh at it or laugh at people or laugh at circumstances. That's not what they're talking about. They're talking about when you can like look at it through a different perspective where there's a little bit of lightness of the energy. Right now for me, what I'm doing is it's real heavy right now. But we're 6 weeks in. I mean, I don't expect that I'm going to be through the heaviest part of a year's worth of work by Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? Like, I would almost want my money back. It feels like it's forever. Well, and Chrissy, let's take a look and talk about where you've just been. I mean, right? So each of you is in your own place. And again, it's true, Lola. It's not laughing at, but it's laughing as a symptom of being able to be light with it, as opposed to like, holy shit, this is deep. I don't want to do this. Is this ever going to end? You know what I mean? I'm really glad to hear that, Rochelle, because it's really true. It's hard for me too. And there's part of me that doesn't want to do it, and I'm resisting it, and I don't want to look at this, and I don't want to do this. This is hard. Like my kids with their homework, right? This sucks. I just want to go play. It's like, yeah, but we have to do it at the same time, right? Yeah, that's right, Carla Mantle, when you can let go. It's good. It comes in waves, doesn't it? Doesn't it come in waves? Sometimes you got it, and sometimes you're like, totally don't got it. I know. And then that's right, Alexa said, it's spicy season, so then we're all crying, right? It's true, Crystal Scarlet. I agree with you. All right. All right. I'm going back up a little bit. Yeah, Londa, this is the, what's it called again? Soul Truth deck. Londa was asking what deck it is. All right. Erin. Hi, Erin. She said, thank you guys for holding and seeing me, feeling alone when I shouldn't. I truly appreciate your kind words. I wish I could flip a switch. Well, let's see what the cards are telling us, Erin. It's good to see you today. Thank you for being here. Erin. This is a good one, isn't it? Pardon the blower. My neighbor's gardener is here. Let's see. A lot of people were commenting to Erin, so I don't know if you asked a more specific question earlier. I'm going back in the feed because I didn't see it. The feed goes by really fast sometimes, so I don't see everything. But Erin, I'm not finding you in the feed. So if you had a specific question, hopefully this is helpful for that. So it says, what boundaries need to be created or strengthened within my relationships? Ready for this? When we separate our energy from others, we gain clarity about what we really want. Then we stop doing things that no longer align with ourselves. If you're an empath, you can still be compassionate toward others without taking on their stuff. for example, it's safe to trust that you are not here to fix anyone. And you can set boundaries based on what's best for you. Here we go. Oh, there you are, Erin. All of a sudden I see your comment. That was magic. I want to tell you this. What you're feeling, like you're tired, is very common. I don't know if you saw I post sometimes on my personal Facebook, and I shared this image that people had been sharing, and it really touched me. And it was about how people respond really differently to what's happening in the world right now. And it's real, how you feel, right? But it's also, I want you to know how common and how mutual it is, because I don't want you to think that you're alone. Like, I've felt really tired this year, and I'm not like a tired person. I don't mean physically tired. I've gotten enough rest. I mean energetically tired, just seen a lot this year, and it kind of taxes the central nervous system. Now, there's lots of ways to rejuvenate, and I want you to focus on that. And I'll share with you, so what the spirit guides are saying is, they keep talking about the collective consciousness and how you need to know you're part of and the pendulum is like, you are part of a collective that's having this experience. And I don't know if that's enough to help you shift your perspective, but sometimes when we think it's just us, we get really stuck. And I'm the same way. So I'll share with you a couple things that I've been doing this year that have helped me. And then because you've been so open to sharing, maybe others can share their perspective too. The number one thing I've done this year that's really helped me, because I was starting to feel this, is taking vitamins. I know it sounds crazy. I was really low in magnesium, really low in vitamin D, so I had my labs run because I was kind of feeling like down in the dumps a little bit, and I'm not normally like a depressed person. I found out my magnesium was super low, my vitamin D was super low, all of my trace minerals were really low. Like, I had kind of bottomed out, and so I've been supplementing, taking extra magnesium. Magnesium is really important, and it's really important for women in particular. Magnesium sort of, it's hard to even describe what it does, but it really helps to regulate your energy level and your emotions. It's so important, and I never knew how important it was. And there's different ways you can take it. I take chewable magnesium. There's something called Calm that you can get that most of my spiritual friends drink Calm every day, but I don't like the taste of it, so I take a chewable. But you got to make sure you're getting enough of your vitamins and trace minerals, and then recognizing that we're all kind of feeling a little bit of that, and you're not alone. So get your labs run, check your magnesium, check your vitamin D level, check your trace minerals, check all of that. Yeah. And there's certain things you want to take with magnesium, and I'm not a medical doctor, so your doctor is going to be the better one to guide you. And then from there, you can start to, incorporate some different herbs into your regimen too to support you, right? Calm, you like Calm. B12 shots are fantastic. I have a friend who does IV vitamins, but I don't do that because of the pandemic. But anyway, I'm feeling called that you've got something physical to look at in terms of something in your chemistry is off. And I keep coming back to magnesium because it feels like it could be that. I'd be curious to know what your mag and vitamin D levels are. And it's super cheap and super affordable to get your vitamins. So you should be doing that, and then making sure you're getting enough rest, and then starting to do the energy work. So starting to do work with crystals that will, sometimes you need root chakra stuff to help you feel connected to the planet, and sometimes you need upper chakra stuff to stimulate you and inspire you and help you feel supported and encouraged too. So yeah, and in the feed you've got lots of great recommendations too. And thank you for that, Carolyn. We've got Dr. Carolyn in the house, so always look for Carolyn's guidance, because she's the real deal and she knows her stuff. So for me, she's recommending a different kind of magnesium, but yeah, we're always open to our medical professionals in the feed sharing their specific recommendations too. Yeah, Diana said, I've been feeling stagnant, tired, physically, emotionally for a long time before the pandemic. So, again, from my perspective, because you know my philosophy is the best of East and West, check your labs, check your levels of all of these. Check your hormones, check your trace minerals, check your vitamin levels. I'm always low in B and always low in D. And then start to supplement, and because you'll get a little bit of a boost from that. And then if you can start to clean up your diet, try to eat a whole food diet so that you're not having too many chemicals in your food. Empaths are really sensitive to that, and a lot of us have been eating things that we normally don't eat during this time too, and that can also be contributing to a lot of the things that we're experiencing as well. Thyroid, all of it. Yeah. All right, Ida said, first reading please. Hi Ida, welcome in. Oh, thank you, Christiana. I really appreciate having you here too. All right, let's see what's going on for Ida. Ida. This is a great card, Ida. I'm really glad you picked it because it's a great one for us to think about as a collective too. What am I looking for outside myself that's already within me? It's a hard question to answer, isn't it? It says, are you looking for more guidance, confidence, peace, wisdom, love, or something else? When we search outside ourselves, we get overwhelmed. We get frustrated and we never feel quite good enough. So it's time to go inward and find what you seek. Breathe in your favorite essential oil, inhale deeply into your belly, drop your shoulders. Spend some time hanging out with your soul today. Ask her what you need and be ready for the answers. It's interesting, Ida. The guides are talking about an endless quest for you. Is that true? That you're always looking. But it's a spiritual quest that you're on. And you have been for a long time. They're saying that even as a little girl, is that true? You were looking. Have you been exposed to a lot of teachers? They're showing me different people around you, Ida, who are actually quite knowledgeable. Some of them are in your family. You come from some magic, don't you? They're showing me older women in your line who had very powerful gifts. So the first thing that I'm getting for you, Ida, is don't underestimate how powerful you are. I think you come from a pretty great lineage. And then how do you do what all of us are struggling with, is how do you look inside of you for what you've been looking for outside of you? How do we begin to really believe and trust that we can provide what we need? And then what do you need? Can you articulate it? But remembering who you are is a big part of this, because the magic is, so much of your magic is in you, Ida. That's what I'm hearing from your spirit guides today. So I hope that resonates with you. You come from some big magics. So in a way, your quest stops there. Those ancestors are with you, right? Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. It did mention working with essential oils. I'm going to tell you this really quickly, and then I'm going to do one more reading, and then I'm going to do a group reading, and then I'm going to leave you alone until 4. I had this really amazing conversation with this woman last week, and I want to inspire you to think about this. She was asking me how I work with essential oils, and I said, well, I have a diffuser, I put them in my bath, I make them into perfume, and that's kind of the extent of it, right? Other than like balms, and sometimes they're in oils and stuff, and she was like, Athena. So she talked me into getting, and I got one on Amazon. They're not expensive. I got the cheapest one they had, but it's good enough. It's super small because I don't have a lot of space. She talked me into getting a towel warmer, and she said, put washcloths in there. So you wet your washcloths, you wring them out, you put them in the towel warmer, and you warm them up. I've been doing this at night every night because I was having trouble sleeping. And she said, we were talking about which oils to use. You just put a couple drops of the oils. I'm putting 2 drops of lavender and a little bit of black pepper and a little bit of ylang-ylang and a little bit of valerian, because valerian's really good for sleep. And then wring the towel out again and place it. You can put it on your face. You can put it on your chest. I'm telling you, it has been a whole new world for me. I really want to encourage you to think about either just running hot water and doing it, because you don't really need a towel warmer, but it's just nice and it keeps the towels warm. And then what I've been doing at nighttime is bringing those washcloths to the kids' bedrooms because they're having trouble sleeping, and just rolling it up. I'm just putting lavender on for them, just a couple drops of lavender, rolling up that washcloth and putting it over that warm washcloth over their forehead while we talk before they fall asleep. And they've been falling asleep better. I just want to inspire you a little bit. Cecilia says, if you freeze hand towels with eucalyptus, they become some really awesome face freshness. I want to encourage you, because at first I was like, that's so indulgent, and because I'm super low maintenance, right? I'm like, I can just run my washcloths under hot water, and I don't need to get a towel warmer and stuff. But the other thing I put in the towel warmer are the big, basalt rocks that massage therapists use, like the. Have you ever had a hot rock massage? I got a pack of 3 of those on Amazon for $6. And then the other thing I did last night, because my kids are having growing pains, is I put the oils on the hot rocks and I just massaged their legs where they're having their growing pains. I'm telling you, it's a very indulgent and not expensive thing to do. So I'm glad that that's inspiring for you. Okay, I'm going back up in the feed, because I saw something I don't see very often. I saw a Karen Brown say that she'd love a reading. And Karen's usually the one looking out for you, me, and everybody else. So when I get a chance to actually do something nice for Karen Brown, I'm doing that today. Karen. It's a great card. How can I deepen my trust right now? Let go of the wheel. Check this out, Karen. You can trust yourself. Trust fully in yourself so that you can deepen your trust in others. Trust creates safety, and when we feel safe, we feel unstoppable. Find your center in the chaos and be certain with yourself so you can deepen your trust. You know what the spirit guides are saying? I know Karen pretty well. I mean, we've known each other for a long time. The guides are saying, even you sometimes need this reminder, right? Because you're very wise. You can always trust more. You can always go one level down. It's a great coaching concept. One level down. What would that look like from here? Well, I already trust. Okay, so what's one level down from here? Ooh, what would that look like? I already trust, so that would be like really trusting. Okay, so what does that look like? And this is a different kind of trust than like, I trust you, you trust me. This is trusting the process. You know what I mean? I'm supposed to be here, you're supposed to be here, shit's supposed to be here. This is all right place, right time. Yeah. Is it your medicine right now? Mine too, a little bit, Alright, so... Aw, Ida, I see you, sweetheart. I do. If I wasn't like, honestly, I've been emotional through these readings because I'm feeling your energy, a lot of you, and if I wasn't like real focused, I'd be crying too. Letting go, that's right, Gloria. I mean, at some point, right? Like like I told you, I've told you this before, there's one person on this planet that reads for me consistently, and she's read for me since I was 20 years old. And the most important thing she ever taught me, she's extremely wise. The most important thing she's ever taught me is God's either real or God's not. And she's so no bullshit. So when I'm complaining, and listen to this, Alice in Wonderland, because it'll help you. I think, it helps me. When I'm kind of bitching and moaning and like, because I'm real with her, I'm like, this is hard. I'm tired. I can't believe I talked to her at the beginning of the pandemic. I'm like, oh my God, my kids are home. And like, I don't know if I'm helping them enough. And I don't know if I can do this. And this is so hard. And then I got to worry about my parents. I got to worry about us. And do we have enough food? Do they have enough food? And, stuff. And she interrupted me and said what she always says, which is right on time. She stopped me and said, God's either real or God's not. And if God's real, shh. And if God's not, then you've got bigger problems than you can even imagine right now. Like, you don't even know how big your problems are, right? So, and I kind of love it. Thank you for that, Karen. And it's an honor to read for you, truly. But literally, she was just like, zip it. If God's real, then surrender and stop this. And if God's not, then holy shit. No, the woman who reads for me would read for you too if you wanted her to. Her name is Lori Kazan. She's on my friends list on Facebook. But you gotta know when Lori's reading for you. She just tells it like it is. But she's right. I mean, it's like, you can bitch all day, but if God's real, and you're gonna trust. And if God's not real, God's not real, and then holy shit. Right, Allison? I mean, there's something there. God's either real or God's not. You're not kind of pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not, right? Like, it's a little bit of tough love. Yeah, it's Lorrie, if you want to find her. She's fantastic. I think her website is ilovemypsychic.com. Lorrie Kazan. I don't get anything from telling you about her, and I don't know what kind of wait list she has, but she's pretty great, and I trust her with my whole life. Yeah. All right, collective reading now, reading for the group. Thank you for letting me stay with you. We ended up together for almost an hour, not quite, like 40 minutes. I feel good about it. It's weird how we started, but it is what it is. Yeah. Thank you for that, Karen. God's either real or God's not. My grandma used to say the same thing. If you pray, don't worry, and if you worry, don't pray. Because if you're going to worry, then stop bothering God about it. Why are you bothering God if you're just going to worry? It's kind of the same, two sides of a coin. Q leaf blower, thank you, Allison. Oh, thanks, you guys. Thank you for finding Lori, too. Lori's expensive. I usually go to her for half an hour. I usually book 30 minutes. I'm glad. All right, a card for the collective. Everyone in Soul Shift. Everyone who's here now, everyone who'll watch later, guidance for the week ahead. Our week in this last week, our work in our last week of February. I mean, by the way, substitute anything you want for God. I believe in God, but you don't need to. So you can say, give it to Source and go to bed. Give it to the universe and go to bed. Give it to the goddess and go to bed. Give it to Lakshmi and go to bed. Like, it doesn't really matter who you put in the place of God. But it's the idea that there's somebody out there who's got more power than you do, right? To whom am I comparing myself right now? What you're able to see in another is only visible because it's within you, ready to be brought out. Shine light on this feeling of not enough and see the truth. Stop comparing and start creating. This is the only thing that I can tell you I don't do. I never compare myself to anybody else. If you compare yourself to other people, you need to stop that right now. You know what? You know when I stopped that bullshit, kind of? Honestly, I stopped that bullshit when I got sick. Because you know what I realized is everybody's got it hard. That person you think has a great life, you know, behind the scenes, their marriage is falling apart. They have an illness you don't know about. They live with chronic pain you don't know about. They lost a child. I've learned that no matter how good it looks, you don't know. And so it's really easy to look at somebody else's life and go, oh, I want that. But it's like, you look at a celebrity and you realize they've had 4 divorces, right? Like, in a hugely tumultuous life, right? Is that what you want? So no comparison between you and anybody else. And you also don't want to compare, because this is what the spirit guides are saying. So I don't know which of you are doing this, but thank you, Christina, for that. There's a beautiful meme on Facebook. I didn't create it, but I just love it so much. And whenever it comes up, I share it. I don't see it that often, but there's a meme and it says, don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 10, because that's not fair to you either. So what we end up doing is looking at somebody who's been doing something for a long time, and we're like, well, mine's not as good as that. And it's like if I was to draw a stick figure and then look at Picasso and go, well, but I'll never be a great artist. And it's like, yeah, but I can't compare my little shitty whatever to a trained professional, right? It's really important, because this will rob you of your joy. Yeah, and social media, remember in social media, I try not to do this. Like, I post pictures of my kids, like even when they were babies. I don't know if you saw this, and maybe it looked like I wasn't a good mom, but when my kids were babies, for every cute, funny posed picture that I posted, I also posted a picture of them slapping each other or screaming or throwing their food off their high chair or pooping themselves on the couch or whatever. Like, I made sure I balanced it so that every cute picture was balanced by like what was actually happening in my house, so people didn't look and go, oh, she's a perfect mom, or her kids are perfect kids, or whatever. But most people on social media only show you like the very curated, like, look how great my life is. They don't show you that, I just got done like telling my husband to go, take a hike. It's really true. So even now I'm like, oh, hey everybody, guess what? My kids are barely passing their classes. Anybody else loving online learning or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a desire to keep it real, but most people do not. Most people are only going to show you their picture perfect, vacation, and their picture perfect job, and their picture perfect whatever. And nobody's got picture perfect. It's a shit show no matter where you turn. Yeah. So comparing products before a major purchase, yes. Lola Bunny. Comparing your marriage to somebody else's, I promise you, or comparing your, new business that you're starting, or comparing the, dinner you cooked or whatever to somebody else's is not fair to you. I love that. Well, thank you. Honestly, I do have to say, I think I'm a good parent. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I really make a concerted effort to be a good parent. And I feel like I know what good parenting is, because I feel like my parents were good parents. I had pretty good teachers. Like, if I'm half as good as my parents were on any given day, I kind of feel like I succeeded, I had really great parents. Not perfect, but really good. So whenever I'm like, you know what, my mom would have done that, I'm always like, I get a sticker today. Cheers. Yeah, Chrissy Teigen does it too. She's real, right? She shared when she lost her baby, It's like, I was so thankful to her that she did that. And not because I've lost a child or ever will, in pregnancy, because that wasn't my experience, but I just thought, God, how many people are going to be helped by her being honest and not just putting a sticker on it and going away, I thought that was really beautiful. So, all right, thank you so much. I want to thank my spirit guides for helping me to be a good channel for wisdom and information that needed to come through today. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for your patience too. So tomorrow we're going to go from probably 2 to 3:30 again, just so I make sure I give you all your reading time. So we'll do an extended remix on our reading session tomorrow too. We have class starting at 4. I need about 15 minutes to get set up for everything. So I'm going to sign off with you now. And pay attention to your dreams tonight, because after we do readings, if there's anybody who's new, sometimes people are new, you'll find that like additional stuff will come through in your dream time tonight. Pay attention to that. Maybe, keep a little journal or something near your bed so that you can keep track of all of that. And we appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for being there today and being open to what was coming. I will see you in half an hour. Take care till then. Oh, bring your athame from your kit, your knife, your smoky quartz knife. And if you don't have your tools, bring a wand. I would prefer quartz. I would prefer a Vogel. Bring an extractor if you don't have any other tools. Athame, Vogel, extractor, or a single terminated wand, but I prefer quartz.